Yo, what's good? It's your boy Swagla Drago here with Universe Mode episode 15 maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert at keeping count, but here we are at Monday Night Raw. Few weeks away from tables, ladders and chairs. A pay-per-view which I'm fairly excited for because our corporate champion, the man that we're gonna make our corporate champion, will be facing the chosen one, Vince's chosen one, Drew McIntyre, to show who the true chosen one is. So we start off with Victor versus Razor, where Razor defeats Victor into the next match, where Kurt Hawkins gets a win over Jinder Mahal. Mickie James gets a win over Sasha Banks. Lars Sullivan gets a win over Shaquan Jackson, which is absolute bullshit. Man, no one beats Shaquan Jackson, not this pathetic excuse of a person. Drew McIntyre beats the crap out of Baron Blade, my associate, trying to get answers out of Baron Blade, wondering who the corporate chosen one is, because we did pull a ruse. If I didn't get to say it because I forgot to mention, because last month's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, was such an exciting show, I forgot to bring it up. We played a ruse on everyone by saying that Cassius Ohno is our chosen one. He is not. We've got someone up our sleeve that will shock the world or the system. You don't know. You have no idea. So Drew McIntyre beats Baron Blade in a match. Aleister Black, your main event player, defeating The Undertaker, defeats Mojo Rawley. And Baron Corbin defeats Roman Reigns. Onto SmackDown, where Alexa Bliss is cutting a promo and Carmella gets called out, where Carmella loses in a promo contest between these two women. Andrade Cien Almas defeats Shelton Benjamin. Aleister Black beats Cole Quinn. R-Truth defeats Jeff Hardy. Seth Rollins defeats Ty Dillinger. Randy Orton has a better promo than Shinsuke. And Daniel Bryan has a better promo than AJ. Onto NXT, where Roderick Strong defeats Velveteen Dream. Rhea Ripley defeats Bianca Belair. Toni Storm defeats Shayna Baszler. Hideo Itami defeats Tommaso Ciampa. And Pete Dunne defeats Jackson Riker. Onto 205 Live, where a fatal four-way match between Arya Daivari, Hideo Itami, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. Let's see who wins the opening match. Arya Daivari beats all four of these men. Noam Dar defeats Gentleman Jack Gallagher. And Mustafa Ali puts his Cruiserweight Championship on the line and defeats Tyler Bate. Onto NXT UK, where the opening match is James Drake versus Jordan Devlin, where Jordan Devlin defeats James Drake. Al Ligero, or just Ligero here, defeats Noam Dar. Mustache Mountain defeat the Coffee Brothers. Travis Banks cuts a better promo than Danny Burch. And in the main event, Wolfgang defeating your UK champion, Pete Dunne. back onto Raw, where Aleister Black versus Zack Ryder, and Zack Ryder gets a win over the Hardcore Champion. Sasha Banks defeats Tamina. Braun Strowman defeats both Baron Corbin and Shaquan Jackson. Akam defeats Connor. Big Show defeats Lars Sullivan and Samoa Joe. Brock Lesnar comes out and beats the crap out of Baron Blade. Just maybe Brock Lesnar is also curious who the chosen one is. John Cena defeats Jinder Mahal in the main event. Onto SmackDown, where we see Ty Dillinger versus Seth Rollins, where Ty Dillinger defeats Seth Rollins. Shelton Benjamin defeats Jeff Hardy. Alexa Bliss defeats Carmella. Aleister Black defeats NWO member Cole Quinn. Dean Ambrose defeats Andrade Cien Almas. AJ Styles defeats Kane. And Randy Orton defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. Onto NXT, where we have a tag team match where Dakota Kai and Toni Storm face Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler, where Dakota Kai and Toni Storm defeat Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler. Velveteen Dream defeats Oney Lorcan. Tommaso Ciampa defeats Hideo Itami. Roderick Strong talks a better talk than Johnny Gargano. And Pete Dunne defeats Travis Banks in the main event. On to 205 Live, where the opening match is Gentleman Jack Gallagher facing Noam Dar, where Noam Dar defeats... my bad. Gentleman Jack Gallagher defeats Noam Dar. Lince Dorado defeats TJP. And Buddy Murphy in the main event defeats Tony Nese. Onto NXT UK, where the opening match is Walter facing Gentleman Jack Gallagher, where Walter defeats Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Noam Dar defeats Ligero. Danny Burch defeats the true Englishman Chad Gable. Jordan Devlin and Finn Balor defeat James Drake and Zach Gibson, and Wolfgang defeats Pete Dunne 2 weeks in a row. Back onto Raw, where the opening match is Aleister Black versus Baron Corbin, where Aleister Black defeats Baron Corbin. Shaquan Jackson defeats Al Margo. Akam and Razor defeat Connor and Victor. Sasha Banks and Mickie James defeat Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. Baron Blade gets the upper hand on Drew McIntyre, beating the crap out of him, standing over Drew McIntyre, and says, "Do you really want to know who the chosen one is? Well, you will find out at TLC." And throws the microphone right at Drew McIntyre's face. Brock Lesnar defeats Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe. And in the main event, John Cena defeats Jinder Mahal again. Opening tag match of SmackDown, Dean Ambrose and Jeff Hardy facing Big E and Kofi Kingston of the New Day, where Dean Ambrose and Jeff Hardy defeat Big E and Kofi Kingston. Alexa Bliss defeats Sonya Deville. Sheamus and Cesaro defeat Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Aleister Black defeats Cole Quinn. I think this is the third week in a row this has happened. Andrade Cien Almas defeats Ty Dillinger. Randy Orton and Sheamus defeat the King of Sins. Triple H and Sin Cara. And in the main event, AJ Styles, like in Hell in a Cell, defeats Daniel Bryan. Onto NXT, where the opening match is Tommaso Ciampa vs Hideo Itami, where Tommaso Ciampa defeats Hideo Itami. Bianca Belair defeats Dakota Kai. Johnny Gargano defeats Oney Lorcan. Adam Cole defeats Velveteen Dream, and in the main event, Pete Dunne defeats Punishment Martinez. Onto 205 Live, where the opening match is Mustafa Ali facing Noam Dar, where Mustafa Ali defeats Noam Dar. Buddy Murphy defeats Grand Metalik. Gentleman Jack Gallagher defeats Kalisto in the main event. Onto NXT UK, where we have the opening match, Travis Banks vs Dave Mastiff. Quite an opening shirt, where Dave Mastiff gets the win over Travis Banks. Flash Morgan Webster defeats Noam Dar. And the true Englishman Chad Gable defeats Walter. Gentleman Jack Gallagher defeats Pete Dunne and Ligero. And in the main event, Jordan Devlin defeats Zach Gibson. Sorry. Into the main event. Into the last week, where on Monday Night Raw, Baron Blade has a promo. Is he gonna call out the Chosen One? No, he doesn't. He calls out Drew No, he was about... My bad. He was about to call out the Chosen One, but Drew McIntyre interrupts and goes, I don't give a damn who it is. I'm going to see him at TLC. Hits Baron Blade over the head with the Universal Championship and leaves. Into the next match, where Braun Strowman defeats most slept on wrestler of all time, Al Margo. Jinder Mahal and Jason Jordan have a tie. Dana Brooke and Asuka defeat Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. Connor and Victor defeat Akam and Razor. Ronda Rousey talks a better talk than Sasha Banks. And in the main event, Aleister Black defeats Baron Corbin. Onto SmackDown, where Jeff Hardy faces Seth Rollins, where Jeff Hardy defeats Seth Rollins. R-Truth defeats Andrade Cien Almas. Aleister Black defeats the one and true NWO leader Cole Quinn. Sheamus and Cesaro defeat Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Alexa Bliss talks a better talk than Carmella. AJ Styles defeats Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton defeats Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event. Onto NXT, where the opening match is Toni Storm versus Bianca Belair, where Bianca Belair defeats Toni Storm. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish defeat the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Tommaso Ciampa again defeats Hideo Itami, literally Kenta. Roderick Strong defeats Johnny Gargano. And Pete Dunne defeats Buddy Murphy in the main event of NXT. On to 205 Live, where Lince Dorado faces Tony Nese, where Lince Dorado defeats Tony Nese. Cedric Alexander defeats Ariya Daivari, and Mustafa Ali defeats Grand Metalik. On to NXT UK, where Travis Banks faces Danny Burch in the opening match, where Danny Burch defeats Travis Banks. Walter defeats Kenny Williams and Noam Dar. Mustache Mountain defeat the Coffee Brothers once again. Flash Morgan Webster defeats Pete Dunne, and in the main event, the grizzled young vets of James Drake and Zach Gibson defeat John Devlin and Finn Balor. Alright. So far, the unedited card. We haven't changed the card yet, but this is the card so far. What matches should we keep? We're probably gonna keep that match, definitely. That match we're gonna keep. That match, and that's not the chosen one, so that's getting the boot. But if you don't like any of these matches, hit me up and I will change them. This you don't know yet, so we're not gonna say anything. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and